There was a dispute between our ancient sages about the most important principle of the Torah, Klal Gadol b'Torah. Rabbi Akiva taught that loving your neighbor as yourself was the greatest principle, while Shimon ben Azai held that even more important was the claim that each and every human being is created in the divine image. What an incredible dispute. We should all be proud to be heirs of such a debate, loving your neighbor and treating every human as an image of the divine. Jesus was asked the same question, and he threw, "You shall love the Lord your God," into the mix. If loving the divine requires you also to love those created in the divine image, then Jesus may have been elegantly combining the principles of Akiva and Ben Azai. Wouldn't that be inspiring? But loving God is very ambiguous, and some folks don't feel the need to translate that mitzvah into action. So I would like to bracket Jesus' suggestion and offer one of my own as a candidate for the third most important principle in the Torah, in addition to Akiva's and Ben Azai's. In the Haggadah, we are commanded, "B'chol dor v'dor chayav adam lirot et atmo ke'ilu hu yetza mimitzrayim." In every single generation, everyone must see himself as if he left Egypt. I understood the mitzvah as one of empathy for those most vulnerable, for those without agency. Rashi said that the Israelites were forced to endure slavery so that we, their descendants, would share that collective history and be able to tap into that vein of empathy. For many, many years, this mitzvah, b'chol dor v'dor, has been central to my self-image and self-understanding. But there was something I never understood about its language. We recite the line in the Haggadah every year, but the language of the mitzvah is not every year we are to see ourselves as if we left Egypt. The language is in each and every generation we are to see ourselves as if we left Egypt. Our enforced isolation has enabled me to see this mitzvah in a different light. The mitzvah of B'chol dor v'dor is not in the Torah. It's in the Mishnah, the foundation of the Talmud. The mitzvah very likely emerged after the Roman destruction of the temple in the year 70 and during the Roman occupation of the land of Israel. In the minds of some rabbis, that was Egypt. They were in servitude. And the mitzvah was to see themselves as if they were leaving Egypt. Initially, I am suggesting, the mitzvah of B'chol dor v'dor was not about empathizing with the plight of the Israelite slaves. The mitzvah was about keeping the hope for liberation alive. We will leave this Egypt. The reason why the mitzvah falls on each generation is because the rabbis took pity on us by not demanding that we see ourselves redeemed each and every year. Some years the tsuris, the tsarot of Mitzrayim, may have been just too tight. So the mitzvah gave us time, gave us hope that at some point soon in our generation, we would be able to see ourselves as if we were leaving Egypt. At the end of the Seder, when we sing L'Shana Haba'ah B'Yerushalayim, next year in Jerusalem, it's because this year we're still in Egypt. We're still in the narrows, in the straits, in constriction. After the Bar Kokhba revolt in 132 CE, the Romans changed the name of Yerushalayim to Ilia Capitolina. So when we sing next year in Yerushalayim, it means the occupation will have ended and will restore the name of our capital. So this year, when we say B'chol dor v'dor, we can reclaim the original sense of hope. Let's see ourselves coming out of this confinement that we're now in. As Moshe Rabbeinu said to Pharaoh, "B'na'areinu u'b'zkenenu nilech." With our youth and with our elders, we will go. This current plague, this current Mitzrayim, helped me to see that the initial mitzvah was to imagine ourselves as if we were leaving, not as if we were in Egypt. In that way, COVID-19 has eased our ability to empathize with our ancestors' history. It's also shown us once again that our story is a universal story. Today, we are all captives to COVID-19. We are one people with one heart. Our hope and empathy require action and inaction. And with our youth and our elders together, we will go out of this Egypt. I'm wishing you all a sweet Pesach, meaningful Sidarim, and virus-free health and technology. See you all on the other side of the sea.